Is my screen visible? Is it visible to everyone?
No, I can't see anything.
No.
Yes, we can.
It's visible.
Okay.
Just a second, I am not able to see. क्यों नहीं दिख रहा है? स्तुति द्वारा
You can join again. So I hope it is visible to others.
Yeah, it is visible.
Yes, sir. So now let us see how we can handle dropdown using select class. So yes, in the previous class we have discussed this website. So we have already discussed this. So here we are when we type something. So how we can select any of the element we have already seen. So sometimes if you do not, there is one select class. So first of all, let me write just to inspect it. So this is also a kind of drop down, right? So when I click this, so but the values are fixed here. And one more thing is that there is one select class. If you see this, this is the select class. Sorry, here it is the tag. So basically, whenever you will find any select tag, you can use select class to handle these kind of drop down. So what I can do, let me first open this. I will open the URL. So you can also do this just like we did it previously using for loop and other things. But here, as we are having the select class, so first I will create the object of select class. So this is how we can create the object. So Selenium provides this select class. So we can handle the select class drop down. So import the package and so this one we want. And after that, here I will inside this I will give the path in the sense XPath or CSS. Let me go there. So let me first inspect this and see where it is. So let me take this ID. So if I take select ID equals to this, Control F, select. So you can also use any locator. You can also use ID locator here. It is unique. So now we are getting the unique element and I will copy this. And here I will pass that element. So I will say driver dot find element by dot XPath. This is our XPath. So now what will happen is that let me do one thing. I will copy this and before that I will write web element drop down equals to this. So I have captured this web element dropdown into one element, into one variable, which is of type web element. And here I will pass this. So it will look good. Otherwise, you can also pass this whole line here. So once you have done this, so this object now have the knowledge, this object now have the knowledge where your dropdown is present, because I am clearly telling that this is the XPath of dropdown. So when I say select dot, it will have so many methods, select dot. So let us discuss. So one of the method is select by index. So index in the sense you can pass 0, 1, 2, 3, and that element will be selected. So suppose here we see, but index will start from 0. So 0, I think 0, 1, 2, 3. Suppose I will give 3. Let's see what will happen. So if I say 3, and if I simply run this program, let me put some weight as well, because this website takes some time to load. 5,000. So which means 5 seconds. So let me just run it. So you can also use for loop here, but here we are having the select class. So let us see how we can use select class concept. So website open. So it should select index number three element which we have given. So you can see it is able to select INR. Earlier it was select, but as we have given the some index number, so based on the index number, it has selected that element. So this part is clear to everyone.
Yes, sir.
But only this will only be possible when the select tag is present. Otherwise, you will not be able to use this. So only for the cases where the select tag will be used. So if I see this, if I go, you can see there is one more which is select by value. So if you see, this is the value attribute, this is the value, right? And if I say value is AED, right? If I copy this value, so there is one more which is right, select dot select by value, select dot select by value. So paste this. So just paste the value, and with the help of value, this time it will select. So this time AED should be selected. So I think we have not changed why it is selecting INR. Let me check. We have given AED, so but it has selected. So we have given AED, but it has selected this one. I don't know why. Let me check it again. Save the program. Let me run it again. So it should select, but it is selecting INR. Why is it? I think some issues there with this. Let me inspect. So now it is selected, right? Let me run it again one more time. It should select AAD only because we have given AAD. But somehow so earlier this was not coming. Now it is changed. Now this website is changing. Let me take some other website where this will not change. Let me open. So you can use this website. Here you will find so many elements. So let me see elements. Chat box, text box. So let me find the website from here. So this we can take. So let me open this. So here if you see, all these are select option, right? If I let me take one simpler one first. If you see this one, again it is select, right? So I can say select ID equals to this. Let me first write the XPath. So it is unique. Let me check it is unique or not. So I think it is unique. So I will paste that XPath here. So again the method will be same. So it is a select. Let me select address ID equals to. So this is the XPath. And after that, whatever the value I will give here, that will be. Let me try to give. So let me try to give one value. So you can give value equals to 5, value equals to 6, right? So this is one way. Or you can give the visible text. So what is the visible text? If you go here, suppose I want to select indigo, right? So this is the visible text. So here as well, if I write instead of this one, you can try select by value. That will work. Select by one option is coming. Select by visible text. Here I will say indigo. Now I will try to run. So it should select indigo. So there are many that you can explore. Let me wait for that website. So it should select indigo from that below. So no, it is not selected. Okay, it is selected, right? So it was taking some time. So this is how you can use couple of methods and pass the value which you want, right? So this is how you can use select class, but only when select tag is present in the HTML DOM. So this part is clear to everyone? Is it
What is
clear
the
to everyone?
difference between that visible text and the value?
So basically the difference is if you come here, so whenever the developer, whatever the code they have written, so they have provided some value. So value will be you have to pass 4, 5, 6, right? So like it
Okay.
can be like treated like as an index 1, 2, 3, 4, right? So
Okay.
one on the blue, but visible text is this one which you are seeing on your screen in the drop down. So you can use any
Okay.
way you want, right?
Okay. For index, is there need to will it start from zero or what?
Index will
Because the
start from
difference.
0. If
So we
I
have to change the number then.
if I give 0, so value is different, index is different. So if I want to select, suppose let me say 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So 4 is at purple, so purple is at index 4. So if I say select by index, so I will say 4. So purple should be selected. So let us check. So index here will start from 0. So let us check whether it is selecting purple or not. So it has selected purple, right? So index is different, value is different, and visible text is different. Is it clear?
Yeah, it is clear now.
So similarly, suppose if I go to Amazon, uh, I want to type something in capital letter, or I want to double click, or I want to right click. Suppose let me open that Selenium. This. Suppose I want to write something here, like if I write mobile, but I need to type something in capital letter. How we can do that? So let me first copy this. So for that, so we have done select class. So let me remove this and open Amazon. So if you want to double click, if you want to right click, or if you want to enter something in capital letter, so this action class have many methods. So first let me create the object of actions class. So S is there. So action equals to new actions. So create the object like this. So import the package, and here you are getting one error. So it is saying that either give me these any one of these three. So let us give this driver. So object reference variable, you have to pass it here. So now once you have done this, if you see this Amazon website, let me, okay, this. So if you see, sometimes even we are not clicking the element, still you will see, like if I say, if I just move my mouse here, right? So I am not clicking it, simply I am moving my mouse. Now the list appear, which is called mouse hover, right? So how we can perform this action? Like I do not want to click this, just I want to move my mouse. How we can achieve this? So with the help of action class, we can achieve this. So how we can do? So first so XPath you have to write it. Let me write for this, because when I move my mouse here, it is displaying this. So let me take this class, span at the red class. So this is the XPath for the Indian flag. So I want to perform mouse hover. I do not want to click it, just I want to move my mouse. So I will copy this XPath, and here I will write before that web element flag equals to driver dot find element by dot XPath. So this is the XPath. So now what I will do, action dot dot. So now I simply want to move to that element. I do not want to click that. So I will say move to element, and here I will provide the element. So basically in that actions class, after you given this, you need to write one more statement, perform. So then only it will going to run that particular operation which we have given here. So I want to move to Indian flag. So this time I am not clicking, but still I am not clicking. You will see that drop down will come. So let us see whether it is able to do that. So you will not see that mouse will not move, but still, okay, yeah, you can see that. So this time I'm not clicking that element, I'm simply moving my mouse, right? So even if you are not seeing that mouse, it is doing the mouse over operation this time. So you will not see that this mouse will move like this, right? But still it is, because you can see here I'm not clicking the element, I'm not using click operation. So this is how you can say you can use mouse over operation. Is it clear?
G, one doubt actually. Why do we passing the driver inside that action? I mean that
So
driver.
because this action class, if you go inside, okay, so it is, let me check, because this is how it is designed. So basically it is just like the constructor is receiving that driver object. Let me go there again, because then only our driver object, our action class object will have the knowledge of driver, our driver object. So if you see here, if I do not provide here, so basically, so there is no documentation available. So if I remove this, so the reason you can see that this is just like the constructor, right? So we have already seen what are constructor. So basically you can pass any of these three, but the reason why we are passing the driver object is that because driver have the knowledge where all the elements are present, where your which window you are on that window, right? So when driver object will know, and if I pass that driver object, now this action class object is also having that driver knowledge, right? So that's why it is able to perform all the operation. So this is how they designed. So that's why you have to pass it. So it is mandatory, you cannot escape it, okay?
Okay. Can't we directly pass that web element name flag inside that actions?
Where?
No, we have created one web element
So
called
if you
flag.
try to do that, you will get error. So they have not, it is not a select class. So select class is
Okay.
different, this is differently designed. So
Okay.
you have to pass it like this. So now let us see, I need to enter something in capital letter. Means here I am entering mobile. So let me first write the XPath input at the rate type text. So more than one element are matching. So I will say, I will try to make it unique. So now unique element. So now what I will do, web element text box driver dot find element by dot XPath. So this is the text box web element. So let me comment this as of now. So now I want to enter something in capital letter. So you might say that I will say dot send keys and in double quote I will write mobile. So I'm not talking about this. It will enter in capital letter. What I want, when I enter in a small letter, it will be converted to what I say. It will be converted to the capital letter, right? So I will write in small in lowercase, and it should be converted into uppercase. So from the keyboard, if you press shift key from the keyboard and start writing something, that will be that will be written in the capital letter if I press shift key from the keyboard and if I enter something. So similarly, this you can also press the key from the keyboard with the help of this actions class. So I will say action dot. So our first step is to move to that element first. So I will move to that element. So what is our element? First I will move to the text box, right? And once I move to the text box, I will first click the text box. So you can say click method. So first it will move to the text box, then it will click the text box. And then what I want to do, I want to first press shift key from the keyboard, because then only I will be able to enter into capital letter. So what I will say, there is one method, key down, and here you have to say keys dot. So there are so many keys here, you can try that. As of now we want shift key, or you can say left shift as well. So when I say left shift, it will be able to press uh, internally, it will be able to hold the shift key and it will not release, right? So once I will say key down, it will hold the shift key from the keyboard automatically. So and then after once we click the text box, we are pressing the shift key, and then I will say send keys. And if I say a small letter like this, and then I will say perform. Now let us see whether it is able to enter in capital letter or not. So first I am holding the shift key with the help of keys dot left shift. So it should enter mobile in capital letter. So this time it has not entered anything. Okay, so it is still working. So you can say it is able to enter the mobile in capital letter, but here we are given small. So this is how uh, you can enter any letter in the capital words if you want using actions class. Is it clear?
Sumit, I have a question.
Yeah.
Like in real time, when you are using any website, in that web element, suppose in Amazon that was a search box, right?
This
So
one.
in web element, we should give search box or text box, because you are giving us an example. This is a search box, right?
Yeah,
So in
sorry.
real time,
I
yeah, in real
forgot that.
time,
Yeah. It
okay,
should be search box, not text box.
okay. No,
I
I
just
thought,
give, you can give any name, right? It's your
okay,
choice.
fine, fine.
So this part is clear how we can enter something in capital letter.
Hello.
Yes.
Uh, what is the difference between left shift and shift?
So they both will basically, I think it is basically for the right shift. Let me try to. So they will perform the same operation. There is no. If I go inside, try to go inside this. So let us see whether we are able to. So somehow this is not present. So let us try to give shift. That is there is, I don't think that there is any difference. Use dot. Shift. Anyways, we are pressing the shift key from the keyboard. So this time also it should be the same functionality. I don't think any difference is there. I think left shift is for the left one and that other one is for the right one. Let us check whether it is able to perform. So there are only two shift keys in our keyboard. One is left one, other is right one. So they both are actually doing the same. So still the same operation we are getting, right? So I don't think there is much any difference in that. So you can use left shift or right shift, whatever you want. So suppose I want to perform right click. So again for that I'm going to this website. Sometimes like if I click it one time, it will not display anything, right? But if I double click it, so you will get this text, right? If I right click it, right? If I left click it, but if I right click, let me first refresh the page. Suppose we have to perform. This is a simple click. So if I say click, left click, so it is a simple click, right? And if I do left click here, nothing will display. But if I do right click, you will see this one. We have done a right click, right? So, and if you double click, then this will display. So how we can do this? So again, we will take the help action class. And here I will comment or let me not comment. So where is that site? Okay. So let me inspect it. First, we need to write one locator. So let us start with this one. So ID is double click. So Control F. What is the CSS shortcut? Hash ID name, which we have discussed in the previous session. So I will use the CSS this time. And here I will say web element double click equals to driver dot find element by dot CSS. This time I am using. You can also use XPath. Now this is our CSS, and here again element. So now again this will be the same, and then here what I will write. Let me start from again. Actions dot. First I will move to that element. Double click. So double click is my element name. When I will move, after moving I want to double click. So here you will see one double click. So it is straightforward. Double click. So this is my. So this both are different. Let me change the name. Element. So method. Otherwise both will be same. So now if I say dot perform, now it will going to. You will see that it will double click that element. If you perform single click, you will not see that text which we were getting on the bottom. I was talking about. once I double click, then only I will see this. Otherwise, we will not see. So let us see whether it is double clicking or not. So you can see you have done a double click. Similarly, if you want to right click, so here if we are doing right click, we are not seeing anything, right? We should see some kind of list or anything. Let me take some other website. So this is how we can do double click. Let me say right click dummy. So let me take one website. So I think this is the one. So I will. So here, if you see double click, let me do one thing. Again, take this one. This time I will take this one, and I will double click. So here we can see one more concept along with this. Right click, inspect. Right click, inspect. So again, let us discuss double click, how we can double click it. So you can say you can take this one or you can start from this one. So this does not look good to me. Let us not take this one. Let us. So let me go up. So let us start from here. Div class. So parent child we are using, which we have already discussed. Now I want to move to that double click. I need to where is that double click? I need to move to button. Right, so I will simply say button slash button. Okay, so here inside this button should be present, but we are not getting the. Okay, so button is not a child, is not a parent of this one, because if I closing it or minimizing it, it is still there. So what we can do, we have discussed one following sibling concept in the previous class. So if I say both this one and this one both are children to some other element, right? There is no parent and child relationship. So I will use follow. I want to move from this div class to the other sibling. So br is sibling, but this is button. I will say following I want sibling button. So now we are here, right? So I will copy this X path. So this we have already discussed. If you have any confusion, you can watch the previous recording. So here I want to double click. So by dot X path, and here I will paste that X path. So now this is our double click element, and here again I will do double click dot perform. So let me try to run it and see what is the result we are getting. So here when it will double click, you will see one alert. You will see one alert when it double click, because it is written here double click me to see the alert. So you can see this is the alert you are getting, right? So sometimes how you can handle this type of alert, right? So basically if I try to inspect this, you will not be able to inspect this because it is not a part of your HTML, right? So you cannot say that I will inspect OK button. So you will not be able to do that. So what we have to do, so Selenium has also provided us, if you want to handle the alert, so there is one after this. Let me put some wait. Let me put 5 seconds wait, so we can see. And after 5 seconds, I want to close the alert. So when you say driver, so first you have to switch to that alert. So there is one method, switch to dot, and I want to switch to alert. And so most of the alert will have OK button and cancel button, right? And sometimes you will see yes button and no button, right? So these are the major buttons only you will see, OK yes and cancel no. So if you are working with the positive scenario. Like if you want to click on OK, or click on yes, you will say dot accept. Accept means positive scenario, right? So accept means it will click on OK. Accept means, let me again try. Accept means it will click on OK or yes button, right? Whenever it will see OK or yes button, it will click on OK or yes. And if you want to click on no, there is one more which is dismiss, which means if this text is present, it will click on cancel, otherwise it will click on no. So let us say as of now we are having only OK button. So OK stands for positive scenario. So I will say accept. So it, you will see this time if I run it, it will click on OK button. So you have to first switch to the alert and then provide that accept or dismiss method. So let us see whether it is able to close the alert. So after clicking that button, it will wait for 5 seconds, and after that it will click on OK, which means we are accepting that alert. So you can see that it is able to click that alert. So are you able to get how we can accept these kinds of alerts?
Yes.
So let me do right click here. If I left click, nothing will happen. If I right click, you will see this list, right? So in that previous website, even if I'm right clicking, we are not able to see anything. That's why I've taken this website, so we can see some kind of list here, right? So after that, let me first write the XPath. So we can start from here. Let me start from here. Body @ID equals to authentication, right? So now we are here. I want to move to which part? Here I want to move, right? So I can simply say /span this time, because this is the span is the children of this one, because if I minimize it, it will disappear, right? So this is the XPath we have written. Copy this XPath and I will right click it this time. So let me take one more web element. Web element right click equals to driver dot find element by dot XPath again. So this is our element. Now, or let me not comment this. After that we will do. Now I will say driver dot find, sorry, not driver. So once we will accept the alert, again I will copy this line, or let me write it. Action dot move to element dot. So we will discuss these methods in some other classes. As of now, let us focus on this one. So move to element, and after that I will say I want to right click. So let me give this web element. First I will move to that element, and then there is one method. So you will not find double click method. So in Selenium, in that action class, the method name is context click. Context click is the name of the method. So either you can do this way or this way. What is the difference? If, let me first click this one and I will say dot perform, right? But if I want to do like action dot, I don't want to click use this element, I can say dot context click. If I choose this one and I will provide that element here. So you can use both the method. So both are fine. So we have already seen this many times using this element, this approach. Let me comment this and just use, we can use this one only. So it will simply right click that element, right? So let me run it and see whether we are able to see that list or not. So first it will double click, accept the alert, and then after right click the, you can see it is able to right click. That's why we are seeing this list. And once it will do the right click, you can you can click anyone by, right? So there will be different XPath for all these. You can inspect that, and then you can inspect that, and then you can click, right? So basically this is how we are going to right click the element. So right click is clear to everyone. You can use this one or this one. Both will do the same operation. Is it clear?
Yeah, context click you said na something that I didn't get. Context click method. What is that function?
So basically, if you want to right click, this is the method. So right click. So there is this method that will do the right click. I mean to say that when you want to click the element, so click method is present, right? But for the right clicking, this is the method that I want to say. This is the method. So you will not find any method dot right click. That is not any method. This is the method if you want to right click.
Oh, okay, okay, got it.
So this is just a name. You have to remember this is the method whenever you want to do the right click. So let me also comment this. Let us see how we can. Let me open one more. If I open jQuery drag and drop. Sometimes this one. So let me first open that URL. If I click this and with the help of mouse, if I drop it here, right? How we can do that? Which means let me first open the URL, then we will see. So let me open here only. What I will do, I will first open the URL. Let us put some weight. Now what I want to do, once this website will open, I need to click this and move it here, drop it here, right? How we can do this activity? So for that, we have opened the URL, and let me do one thing. Let me also write the some locator for these two boxes, right? Anyways, we need to write the locator. So this is our source element. This is our target element. Now first let me check the XPath, or you can write CSS if whatever you want. So let me say div id equals to draggable. So can we use CSS shortcut #id? Control F. So this we have already discussed. So draggable. So okay, so more than one is present. So let me take only try to do with XPath id equals to draggable, right? If I say droppable, so this is our droppable one. Second one, first one is draggable, second one is droppable. So this is our destination element, and if I say draggable, this is our you can say source. This is our source. This is our destination. So for that source, I will first copy this, and I will say web element source. You can give any name. Just I am taking source and destination, and here I will provide this. So this is our source element, and this is our, I want to move to the source element to destination element. So here also I will remove it. So I think only changes, you need to change the name. So this will remain the same from here to here. Okay, from here to copy this and paste it here, right? So it should be droppable, droppable. So let me first check it one time whether it is correct or not. So with the help of action class, we are going to do this. Okay, Control F, Control V. So XPath is correct. Now, how we can drag this? So again, action class object you can create. And now I will remove this, and I will say action dot. So what we want to do, we want to drag and drop the element. So there is again an element. drag and drop is the method name, and here I will say source and target. So let me give target only, that will look good. This is our target. So once you have given this, you need to say perform. So it will going to move that source text box to the target one. So let us see whether it is able to do or not. If not, then we will see why it is not able to. So website open. Let me maximize it. So this is our source and target. So website is open, but still I think it is not able to do. So some error is coming, line number 21. It is in line number 21, which means here, right? So let us see what is the error. It is saying no such element. I am not able to locate the element, which is this one, right? So this is the error we are getting. So what can be the reason? Can anyone guess? We have written correct text path, but still we are not able to.
Is it related to time wait time need to increase or?
No, I have given 5 seconds, and this website is also loading correctly. So okay, let me tell you. So if you remember, we have automated one website, NDTV coronavirus. If you remember that we have automated this website using for HTML table, how many of you remember? Please confirm.
I
We have discussed,
remember.
right?
Yeah, I remember.
So if you remember this, I was not directly showing you this website, but on that website, what I've done, let me show you. So I was not showing you that website directly, but only table was there. So the reason was by, let me, if you try with this website, the same HTML table. So there is one. If I copy this, let me see where is that table present. This is somewhere here, state, right? If I go here, so this is our entire table. And if I go up, if I go little bit up, right? So this is our entire table. And if I go little bit up, you can see this. There is one concept of iframe. There is one. So this is the tag name. There is one concept of frames in Selenium. So basically, it is not related to Selenium. So developer has made what developer has done. This is the web, actual URL where this table is present. So when we have discussed this in the last lecture, I have copied this URL. I have copied this URL and pasted it here, right? So this is the URL which we were using. So this is the actual URL where that table is present, right? So what developer has done with the help of this iframe concept, they are using that link here and displaying the table. So sometimes, even if you are seeing this table is present here, this is not the part of this web page. This table is coming from some other place. So that's why developers use sometimes the frames concept. So this table is inside the frame, right? So first we need to, whenever you will have the frame concept, first you need to switch to that frame, then only you will be able to work. If you do not switch to the frame, here as well, this is the case. If I go here, I think here, right here as well, I am performing some operation on this element. But if you see it clearly, the HTML code, right? So here we are. If I go up, you can see this whole part is coming from some other place. It is inside one frame, right? So first we need to switch to this frame. Once our code will switch, then we can happily perform that operation, right? So how we can switch to the frame? So we are able to see that this table, you can see if I go up, this table is present inside this iframe tag, right? So what I will do, once our website will load, right? Before finding any web element, first I will say driver dot switch to dot frame. And here what you can do, you can pass the XPath or any. So if I copy this, class name is this, What is the CSS shortcut? If we know the class, it is dot class name, which we have discussed. So you can see this is highlighting this line, iframe line, and this is the CSS shortcut which I am using, dot class name. So this also we have discussed. So I will copy this, and here I will say driver dot find element by dot CSS. So what I am trying to say here, that first find that line which is having that iframe and switch to that frame, right? So this method will going to switch to that frame. So once we will switch, now you can see that our code will be able to identify the element and it will perform this operation. Let us see this time as well whether it is able to do or not. So you have to, so the only way we need to check it from the iframe. Sorry, using that HTML code, we can see if you are written everything correct, then you can see that okay, there might be iframe concept present there. So this time it should drag the target to the, you can see it is able to drag and drop the target. So is it clear to everyone how we can how we have performed the drag and drop function?
So whenever we'll have a frame in the HTML tag, so we have to use this concept like you have shown iframe or
Yes,
frame.
yes. So try this website, NDTV one, not this one, this one. If you directly, so this, I hope you have the code which we have done in the last lecture. So for this table, if you have the code, if you apply here, that code will again say element not found, right? Some error like this, because here as well the frame is present. So you can write one XPath or CSS for that and switch to that. Then you have to work on that table. So whenever you have iframe, you need to do like this. Okay. Is it clear?
Okay.
So suppose only this table is present inside the iframe. Let me try to click this demos. After dragging and drop, I will click on this. Let me try to click on demo. Sorry. At the right class. I want to click on demo after we are done with this. So let me make it unique. So now we are on the demo part, right? So I think this demo is not any frame. Let me first check. So if you, this is the place where demo is present. If I go up, so I don't think there is any frame here. Okay, I don't think any frame is present here, right? So now I will try to click it. After this operation, I will say driver dot find element by dot xpath, and I will click the element using click method. So let us see whether it is able to click the demos menu or not after this operation, after this activity. So again, it will drag and drop. But it is not clicked on demo. You can see our code is failed. So you can see line number 34. Here it is failing. Why it is failing? Because when you have given which one? When you have given this line, now you are inside the frame, right? When you have given this line, if when you have given this line, you are working inside this frame only, right? You are switched to the frame and working, but this is not a part of frame. So again, when you need to perform the outside operation of this frame, right? All these elements are outside this frame. First, you need to come out of that frame and then work. So for that, there is one more method. So here our task is done, right? Now I will first come out of the frame because the other element is not a part of the frame. So I will say driver dot switch to dot default content. So which will move you out of the frame. So if I now run it, so what will happen after this? We will again come out of the frame and we can work on the rest of the element. So make sure whenever you are working with frame, come out of the frame after your task has done. Otherwise, you will see all these errors. This time it should also click on demo. So you can see it is clicked on demos this time, right? So this is about the frame concept and how we can switch and how we can come outside. So are you able to get how we can do this? Is it clear to everyone? Okay, so I think no one have any query. So let me open one more website. So website name is okay. So guys, tell me any website. I will pick that website which you will. Or let me first take mine one. Uh, new tab. So guys, any queries, whatever the part we have discussed till now, then I will move forward. Am I audible?
Sumit, that page scrolling is there, right? One function page scroll from up top to down.
Yeah,
Can
we
you?
can use JavaScript executor. We will see that.
Okay, fine. Okay.
So sometimes whenever you click any link, sometimes that link opens in the different browser. Let me open link. Okay. So if I click this, that will open in the separate window like this in many websites. So what I want to say, let me first open that URL. Let me write it here or let me write it here, right? Okay, let me comment this code and open that website. This is the website, right? And I will first click on this link. So the link is, what is the link? I think this one. Yes. So now I will click on this link, open page in new window. So let me see this and let me write XPath. So we have discussed one text function. So if you want to click by text, you can also use text function. So how we can say? So I will say star. What is the meaning of this one? If I write like this, which means what it is giving you the total number of tag name, right? So it is saying I am saying find all the tag name that starts with anything, right? Anything. So total 304 text names are present, and after that I will say find the text. I want to say what is the text I want to find. This is the text. So this we also discussed. So I will copy this text and wherever this text is present, I will identify it. So this is the, so okay, so one more than one element is present. So let me now give one to make it unique. So now I think it is unique one, right? So I will copy this and I will click the link. So here it is not required. Driver dot find element by dot xpath. So after that I will dot click, and once I click this, I will try to get the title of the web page, and let us see what is the title it will print. So this we have discussed in the first class, how we can get the title, and let me try to run that web page. So the page is open, and okay, so some kind of error you are getting. So we are not worrying about the error. So I think it is not allowing you to open that website, it is saying, right? So there are some websites which don't allow you to automate the website. So anyways, we want to get this title. So let us see what is the title. So as of now, we are on this page, but I am expecting this title in my output: access denied, rapidtables.com. So the title is different. So title I think is this one: HTML link in a new window, right? So what it indicates that even if you are opening the new, we have opened the new window, but still our driver is focusing on the parent window. That's why you are getting this title, right? That's why you are getting this title. So if you want to work on the other window, you need to first switch to that window, and then you can work, right? So here we are going to see how we can handle the multiple windows when they are like this, and how we can work on each and every window with whatever we want. So now what I will do, there is one method. So let me comment this as of now because it is giving the incorrect result. Now let me, after that, so after this one, we will have two tags. One is the parent and other is the child. So there is one method in Selenium which is get window handles, right? So for each and every tab which is present here, so I think I close the window. So if as of now we are having two tabs, but when I apply this get window handles, there is one unique ID for each and every tab. This and that method will going to fetch that ID, right? And what is the return type? You can see from here itself. It is set of string, so it is going to return me the set of string. So I will debug this program as well. So you can say IDs, right? And import the package. And after importing, what we need to do. So after importing, what I will say IDs dot. So let me try to first debug the program and how it is capturing the ID. So I will put one breakpoint, save it, and debug the program as Java application. So now two pages are open, and now what we have to do? Let us see. If I will just place my mouse here. Okay, so it is not showing. Hmm. Let me see on the right. Let me check on the right hand side. Breakpoint and then variable. So if I expand this, so this is one unique ID, CD window, and some big number is there, right? So at index number 0, so keep in mind always index number 0 will contain the parent ID, parent window ID. So always when you are working with this one, always at the index number 0, ID of parent one will be present, right? So this is our parent window, this is our child window. So and after that, whatever this is your second window, child window. So at index 1, it has captured the child window ID. So till now it is clear to everyone how we are getting the ID. Is it clear to everyone?
This one, can you explain one more time? Because
Sorry.
this, this concept, can you explain one more time that window handling? Because
Okay. So what I mean to say, when I open two window, when we were getting the title, we are getting the title of the parent window, not the child window once we have opened. So this part is clear till now.
yeah,
So
yeah,
first, what I need to do, first I need to switch to the other ID to work on that. Sorry. First I need to switch on the other tab, then only I can work with that tab, right? So we cannot directly work on, which means uh, if I click this link, it will open one fresh window like this. So if I want to work on this window, first I need to switch to that window, then I can work. So this is the concept. So how we can switch to the window? For that we require one ID and this get window handles method when you apply after. So once this method will be applied, we'll get unique ID for this one and this one. And at index
oh,
number 0, it will capture the ID of parent window, and whatever be the child window you have opened, that will be the rest of the index. So at index number 0, let me write it here. At 0, we will get we will always get parent window ID, right? So now let me remove this as of now. So what I will do, let me use one. There is one method dot iterator. So what this method will do, so what is the return type? Iterator of type string. So why I'm doing this, let me say iterator string. I will debug this program so we will understand it. Let me give some name. So to this variable I will apply one iterator method, and that will give me one iterator object. So this is the name I have given. So basically what we have to do, once we get all the ID, we need to traverse the ID and switch to that ID, right? We will traverse each and every ID with whatever we want, and I will switch to that ID. So if you see, if I say it.next, so this will give me the ID at index number 0. So let me give string parent ID, because so when you apply this it.next for the first time, let me first write it. I will debug it. Child ID it.next second time, and if I put one breakpoint at line number 29, so now I will debug this program, and again we will try to understand how it is capturing the ID. So as of now we are having only two tabs, but we can now have many tabs as there. So that is not any restriction there. So now this again open. So now second, so anyways you are getting this error, so it is for the security reason, it is not allowing us. So now if I say one more thing, that even if you are seeing this window, right, we are still on this new window, on this previous window. This is our parent, and this you can treat as a child. Even if this appeared like this, we are still on this because we are not switching our window, right? That's why we are getting this driver.get title of the first link, not the second page, right? So now we are here. So this will capture all the ID. So you can see at index number 0, what is the ID? CD window, some IDs like this, right? In double quote. So this index number 0 belongs to this ID, belongs to this page, first page, always, right? So that will remain the same. And at index number 1, it has captured this ID for this second tab. So this is at the index number 1, right? So this part is clear how it is capturing the ID.
yeah, yes, yes, me.
So now once it will capture the ID, what we need to do,
We have to move on to
yeah,
that
yeah.
page.
So I want to move to the parent ID or first I need to move to the child ID, right? So basically when I apply this IT object, so what will happen, give me a minute, let me open paint. So let us see that on the paint. So okay, so now let me do one thing. We have written like this, set of string ID, like this we have written. It should be ID iterator, right? So if you remember in the debug mode, this will have two ID. So I'm not writing the entire ID. As of now, we are having two tabs. So this is how the ID will look like. So this is our parent ID. So just suppose this is the ID. I'm not writing the entire ID. And this is our children ID, or you can say child ID, right? So when I apply, so just suppose ID variable is like this. So here it is 01. So I will say it is 0 index, it is 1 index. Here we are having the parent ID, here we are having the child ID, right? So now when I use this iterator method to this variable, right? This is our variable, right? So that will give me one iterator object. This is our iterator object. And this, suppose this is the object created, right? And when I say it dot next for the first time, this IT object will point to our parent ID, and it will going to give me this parent ID, and I will catch that in one variable. So the variable which we have used in the Eclipse editor is parent ID, right? So I will capture that ID into this left hand side variable. So now our IT object is pointing to this ID. When I apply it for the second time, this IT object will now move from this ID to this ID, and it will return me this ID, right? So I will capture that in one variable, which is child ID, right? So the same thing I've done it here. Once we get the IT object, so this will have both the ID. So if I apply it for the first time, this IT object will move to this ID and grab the ID. So if I execute this, so you can say what is the parent ID? It is 12EC9. If you compare it, it is 12. You can see the first one, 12EC9, right? So now we are getting it here. And when I apply it again, this will move to the second child ID, right? So it is 09895. So again, it is same. So 09895, right? So till now it is clear to everyone how it is giving us the, how we are capturing the ID. Is it clear? Hello.
Yeah, a clear sum.
So now after getting the ID, I will switch. So for the switching, there is again one method, driver dot switch to dot window. I need to switch to the window, and here you need to provide which window you want to switch, child one or the parent one. So as of now, we need to switch on the child window. I will pass this, and so here I will, our driver object will switch to child window, right? So once we are switching, if I apply get title method now, you will see we will get the title of our child window, because now we are able to switch, and if we are able to switch, then it will return me the title. So whenever you have the case of multiple window, you have to apply this so that you can get. So now we should see, earlier we were seeing that title, but now this should be the title. So you can say this is the actual title we are getting, because now we are switching it first, then we are getting the title. So now when you are on this window, you can work anything, right? Which means if you want to get this text, if you want to click this or anything, whatever you want to do, you can do. So now if you want to perform, go to this window again you need to give this step and provide this parent ID, which is this one. Then you can switch to the parent window and you can work like this. So is it clear to everyone how we can work with our multiple windows?
Yes.
Okay. So I hope it is clear to everyone, because after that we are going to perform one activity. So if that is not clear, then you will face issues. So let me know whether it is clear or not to everyone.
Sumit, if I want to go back to the normal window once the page is done my work, is I need to go back to switch to default window like that?
Let me check. I don't think there is any method. Driver dot switch to. So that will be the same dot. So default content. So that is for the frame.
Yeah.
So
In
that is,
case if I want to go back to the first tab means,
you can do like this, which I am saying that after getting the title, if you want to move back to the parent window, you can give this name, because here we are
okay,
having the parent window ID.
okay,
So if I apply it one more time, you will see the title will be different. So now if I apply, so again it will switch, and you will be able to see that how it is switching, right? You can see that it will click the first window when it will switch from second to one. So as of now, first window, I think it has switched very fast. So first you will get this title, then you will get this title. So you can see that first this one, second this one, because we had switched to the window. So this is how you can play around with the windows. Is it clear?
yeah.
So guys,
Window handling can be done by with the set class, isn't it?
which class?
Set we are using. We have to use set class for Windows handling, right?
So
Set we are.
this is an interface. So the reason why I am using is, if you go inside this, so somehow this is not present. I will check it later. Basically, when you go inside this, let me try to show. If, so I think it is not a Maven project, so it is not showing. If I try to show you from here only, basically the return type is fixed. Where is that? That's why I'm using set. So if you see this one, it is saying that my return type is this one. That's why I'm making this.
Okay.
So if you try to give it to some other, might be you need to typecast it, but let it be this one only. So whatever they are specifying, let us go with this one only. Because set, the reason why they are using set is because set do not contain duplicate element. So they are assuming that no two window are going to have the same ID. So that's why using set.
Okay.
So now, okay guys, so can you suggest me one website, whatever you want? Like we can try one activity there from there. So you can suggest one website name.
Maybe you can go to IRCTC. We'll have more functions there. We will just see.
So that's a very bad website you have suggested me. because so many ads are there. Let us check. Okay, because it will take more time to load. Okay, let us check.
Okay, just we will see.
So suggest me some other ID because it will take more. It will waste our time. Just let me know some other. Anyone? So you can see how much time it is taking. So it will waste our time.
Amazon?
Yeah, yeah. Then you can switch to other side.
Amazon, how
Amazon
to,
we have seen many times.
or any Flipkart or any other Mintra like that.
Okay, let me switch to Mintra. So Amazon, Flipkart we have seen many time I think. So you can see still it is loading. If you work on this, it will be very difficult. Let us take this one. If I go, so still this is also. So I was searching for some link. So I think these are all link. No, it is not a link. So here I am not finding. Guys, suggest me some other. Here no such links are present. What I was looking for.
So any e-commerce site will be fine, like Big
Yeah,
Basket,
anyone, anything. But
Big Basket, or
okay, big basket. Let us see. I hope this will load. Okay. So yes, we can take this. Okay, yeah, we can take this. So now what I want to do here, if you see, some links are present. One link, second link, third link. So let me first try to show you. I am not concluding that it is a link. I will first see the HTML code. If anchor tag A is present, then I will conclude that it is a link. So let me click this. So you can see about us is having the anchor tag A and also one link is present, which means all these are links here, right? So what I want to do, I want to get the title of each and every link, which means I will, if I open like this, so web page will load. If I open like this, one web page will load. If I open like this, one web page will load. So once the web page will load, I want to get the title of each and every page, right? So I am considering only the first block only as of now, right? So I am just now I'm trying to do for the first block. You can try the rest of the block. So let me start from here only. Why I'm starting from here? Because this is not looking good to me, right? It might change. So this, I think that this will not change frequently. So let us start from this and write the XPath that will identify all the link, right? So one way, if you want to get the title, what you can do, you will first write the XPath for about us. Click about us, right? Once you click about us, you can apply get title method. You will get the title. And there is one method which we have discussed in the first class, driver.navigate.back. So that back method will going to land you here again, right? So this is how you can do if you want, but that will going to take you a lot of time because every time you will navigate backward and forward, right? And you will write the different text path. So that way we are not going to see. So we will see some other way, like multiple window thing we can see. Let me again write. Where is that? So it is also loading very slow. Okay. So let me start again from here. Div at the rate class custom. Yes. So no matches. Okay, one match. Yeah. So now after that I will write the XPath for all the links in the first block. So first block is here. So I will move from here to here. This is slash div. Now we are here. Now after that I will move to not H4. I want to move to, so this big basket is not a link. It is simply a text. I want to go to about us. So I think inside this all the links are present. So I will say slash ul, right? I will say slash li. So total 15. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So anyways, we got all the ID, no issue. So we will look for all the link. And here as well, if you go inside li, here your link is not present. Let me go one more. Now here is the actual link, right? Anchor tag A. So I will say slash A. So now I have written the XPath so that we can identify all the link, right? So I will copy this XPath. I hope this XPath, no one have any issue in this XPath how we have written. We have discussed. So now let me change the website URL. So I want to get the title of 15 link. If you try to click one by one, that will take a lot of time because you need to go backward and forward. Now we have written, right? Sorry, this is the, let me remove this all. So first of all, I will say driver dot. This time we are having multiple elements, so I will say find elements by dot XPath. This is our XPath. Now, okay. So now I will capture that variable. It is find element method. So return type will be list of web element. And here I will say list equals to. So import the package. So the shortcut is Control Shift O that I am using. So Control Shift O, then import. So now we have imported. Now I will say, let me say total count. Total. Let me say total links. Some name. It will be list dot size. This will give me the total link. And after that, first let me open the website URL. So copy this. This is the URL. So if you see how we can, what I will do, first I will open each and every link in the separate window, which means what I'll do, first I will open each and every link in the separate window, right? So how we can do this? So if you see, if you press Control and left click from your keyboard, first I will press Control. I have pressed Control, then I will say left click. So that will open in the separate browser like this, right? So I will send Control and click left click from my Selenium code. So which we can do by the actions class, right? So I can open each and every link in the separate window like this. So what I will do, I will let me total links. So first I will apply one for loop so that I can move to each and every link. I less than total links. Increment the value by one. And here I will say it should be links. Or you can give this directly here. That is again same. Now I will say lists. So this we have already seen what this for loop, how it will work in the drop down lecture. It will get the links one by one, and then so basically if you see this, as of now I am saying that from this list, once it will fetch all the get, so this list will have all the element in the form of web element. So when I will get the element one by one, I can say web element on the left hand side link equals to this. So when I equals to 0, first link will be there. When I equals to 1, second link will be there. Like this, all the links will be present in this variable one by one, right? So as we know, there is one actions class. Equals to, let me create the object of that class, driver, import the package. Now I have given this driver. Now what I will do, a dot inside this for loop, So when I will be 0, there is one link in the form of web element that will be here, right? A dot move to element. Here it is asking for the web element. So this is our web element. So first I will move to the link. Right? So for I equals to 0, this will move to the link number 1, which is about us, right? So this is how it will store 0, 1, 2, 3, likewise till 40, right? So first I will move to the link, then I need to say key down. I want to press control key, control key from the keyboard. So there is one here which is control key. So this is control key I am pressing. So if you see this, what it says. So I think here I am not able to show you this as it is not a Maven project, so it is not showing. So tomorrow we will see what is Maven, then I will show you. So now I am holding the control key from my keyboard. Once I will hold, what I need to do, I need to click the link, right? And then I will say dot perform. Perform anyways you have to give, that is common. So what will happen, first we will move to the link, then it will press the control key from the keyboard internally, and then it will click. So automatically link will be open in the separate window one by one, because when I equals to 0 the link will be different, when I equals to 1 the link will be different. So this variable will have different value each time. So now if I run it and let us see whether it is working correct, it should open each and every link in the separate window. So once the website will load, it will start. So some of this website is okay. So let us see whether it is able to do or not. So you can see one by one it is clicking so fast. Total how many links? 15 I think. So those many links it will open that we have written XPath. So you can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and this is also 15, right? So total these many links, whatever the XPath we have written, that will open. It will open. So now after it has opened, so they are saying okay. So after that, if I apply driver dot get window handles, right? So this we have already discussed. So this will open all the link, and I will apply now to get all the ID of each and every window. And what is the return type? Set of type is string. IDs and control shift O, right? So this variable will have all the ID of each and every window. Now, so I think this part is clear why we are using this, so we can get all the ID which we have already seen. Now if you see this, again I will apply iterator concept, iterator. So the return type will be one iterator object. So this will help us to traverse to each and every link. ID equals to this one. So control shift to again shortcut. So now, so if you remember, we do like this parent ID it dot next, right? So now we are on the parent ID. Now if I say it again, child ID, child window 1 equals to it dot next, right? So here, if I keep on doing this, that will take much time because there are total 15 links. So I cannot do it one by one, right? So what I will do, I will use one while loop, and here I will say it dot has next. So let me explain you what is this has next, and inside I will write it dot next, and here we will get the ID. So always first ID will be the parent ID, that is again same. Let me explain this in paint first. This is our paint. Don't save. So what we are doing, so suppose when I apply this line, when we will apply this line, this ID will capture all the links of all the tab, right? So let me just represent it here. Suppose this is the IDs variable. Suppose as of now we are having only 5. I'm not writing entire 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? So just suppose this is the ID name, ID number 1, ID number 2, ID number 3, ID number 4. So some IDs there, 5, 6. So some name is there after this. So some lengthy name. So just writing like this. So these are all the ID we have captured. So when I apply IDs dot iterator, we have already written this, seen this. So that will give me one iterator object, and that iterator object will help us to iterate over the element. So this is our IT object. This is our IT object, and this is our IT object name. And I am using while loop in my code, so I don't need to track each and every ID. This will do the work for me. And here, what I've written is string ID equals to IT dot next. So these two methods are different. Let us see what is the difference. So what will happen when the condition reaches here? IT dot has next. So IT object will check whether you are having IDs, whether you are having the data, first data. So it will see yes at index. So let me write the index 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So IT with the help of this has next method, it is simply checking whether you are having the first element or not. So you can see we are having the first element. So condition true, we will go inside. And what this method will do, IT dot next. So this will actually move your IT object inside this, and this will going to return me the ID. So that ID will come here. ID will come here, which is 1xx, some ID like this, right? And what I will do here, I will say driver dot after the code, after this ID we will get, I will say driver dot switch to dot window. If you remember, we used to pass the ID. So ID will be like this, right? So this variable I will write here. So for the first time, this is the 1xx is the ID we will get. Now again, when while loop will run, so I will switch it, and the next step I will write after this is get title. So for the first window, we will get the title. Now again, while loop will run, IT dot has next. So as of now, our IT object is here. So IT dot has next will simply check whether the next element is available. Next data is present. So you can see next data 2xx is present. Condition true, we will go inside. Now again, IT dot next. So this will actually move your IT object pointing from. So now when I say IT dot next, this will move to our second element, which is you can say the ID. Now we are here, and this will grab the text, grab the ID name, and place it here, right? So for the second time, this will be the ID, and I am switching to that second ID, so it will switch, and after that I will say get title, so you can get the title of second window. Similarly, again this will run IT dot has next. So IT dot has next will simply check whether the next element is present. So you can see IT dot has next, IT is here on the index number 1. It will check next element is present. Yes, next data is present. So condition true. Go inside the while loop and say IT dot next. So that will move your IT object pointing from second one to the next one. So this is how it will work, and it will keep on getting the ID, and we will keep on switching. So are you able to get how this will work while loop? Is it clear to everyone? Hello, am I audible?
Yes.
Yes, Sumit.
So this part is clear to everyone how it will work?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So same here, that so whenever it, so if suppose when we will reach here, right? Suppose our IT object, IT object is pointing to this, suppose, and we are able to switch to the ID and print it. Now when it run like this, IT dot has next. Again, next element is present. So with the help of this one, we can switch. Again, we can switch. But when it reaches here to the last element of the list of the set, we are using set. Now we are here. Now when it again check IT dot has next, no element is present after the list, right? So this is the end of our list. So now this condition will become false and we will come out of the while loop and our program will terminate. So this is how it will behave. So similarly here, I will just run this program. So once I will switch to the ID, I will get the ID of any questions. Someone wants to say something. So I will say a string, sorry, I will write driver dot switch to dot window. Here I will say ID. Simply I will, so it will keep on switching one by one. And here I will say system.out.println driver dot get title. If I run it, this will print all the title. So that will be very fast. Otherwise we need to go backward and forward many times. So let us see how it can work. So let me maximize this. You can also do it through code. So now it will open and you will be able to see that how it will switch. So first it will open all the windows in the separate tab. Started. So now it is started to switch. So first it will get the title, it will print it. Now again, third one. So basically this will be very fast, but this website is taking some time to load, so it is going slow.
You can close all other websites, Sumit.
Sorry?
Whatever is not in use, you can close that.
Yeah, okay, let us discuss one more thing. We can close that if you want after that. What you are saying, I did not get it actually. What you are saying?
What I'm saying is many websites are open, right? Amazon, all those other websites, you
Okay,
just close that other website.
that's why it might happen that it is working slow. Yeah, we can close.
Oh,
So now only 4 left. So one by one we are getting the title. Now this is last one.
Sumit, one doubt.
Yeah.
Like when the title will show, right? So it will be synchronous or it will just go to any window and show the title?
So
Like from
basically,
the.
if you see, let me first check whether the title, let me tell you. So let us see how many titles we are getting. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, right? So if you see this get window handles, so it is not maintaining any order, right? If you see this, if you remember when this website opened, first, so that will be constant. Always the index number 0 ID will be this one. So on the first one, I think this is the title. Always this will be the first one that is constant, grocery shopping.
Yeah.
So it is not maintaining any order. So this will be same, that will be constant parent window. But after
Okay.
this, if you see this one, this one, this is the last one, I think.
Yeah. In
So
invoice. Yeah.
basically, the reason why it is not maintaining the order is it is a set. If you see the collection part, the set do not maintain any order while insertion, right? So whenever it is capturing, so I don't think that it will maintain because we are using the set. And here you can see that it is starting from the like this from back.
Mhm.
So it is not maintaining any order. It is not, or it might happen that sometimes it take from between. It just
Yes,
totally
yes,
depends on that because the
yes, Robert.
order is not maintained. So this is how we can handle multiple window. We have also done this activity. I hope this is very useful for you. So you can try for any other website. You can try Amazon as well. So this will be same. Just need to change the XPath. And one more thing, instead of this one, if you don't want to use action class, without action class also we can do. So we'll comment this. What we can do, remove this. So I can send some control and enter. So there is one keys in Selenium. Keys dot. There is one method code. This is also the method, and here I can say multiple keys dot control, comma keys dot. So here I don't think that there is the click operation. So here we can use enter. So enter sometimes works in the same way. So what I'm saying that send the control and enter, because if I try to do it control and enter, so it is still opening in a different window, right? If I'm hitting enter, control and enter. So I will capture that in one variable, string ID, or you can say value, right? And I will capture this, copy this variable, and in the send keys I can use this. This is also one of the way if you want. So again you will see without action class, again it will open in the same window. Sorry, in the different window. So it's up to you how you want to do. So again the same, it will open. So again it will do the same whatever the code is written. So as of now, let me close. We have already seen it. So that's all for today. I hope you are able to get how we can do this. Is it clear? So if you want, I can share this code. Okay, so you can see. So pagination we will discuss in some other lecture because we are running out of time. So I think not.
Sumit, for loop you have used plus plus I, right? I plus plus mostly we use. That the
Sorry.
difference and for that for loop
No.
you have used that increment first. So that
No,
difference
that will not make any difference because here there is only single plus plus I. Not if you are having I plus I greater than 5, something like this, then it will make the difference.
okay.
So I will do one thing. I will share this code in the. No, I'm not able to paste entire code. I will share in the Telegram group. So guys, I hope it is clear.
Sumit, I have one more question.
Yeah.
Like